Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, hello and welcome. We are back with Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. We have the man, the myth, the legendary, as you heard in the conversations while I was away, Broken Canadian, Rayn Lacar. We also have the pleasure of being joined by not one, but two fellow members of Team SNES. Our healer, our resident healer, question mark, Eren Valentine. Well, considering what just happened in the normal raid. And our glorious team leader, Severed Hisatamate. So, I do know the quest line is going to be kind of short today. I've already looked it up. It's only 3 quests long, but we do have a dungeon to do, so that's going to be interesting because it is going to be the Tower of Zot. So it's going to be interesting to hopefully see and maybe feel some of the FF4 nostalgia for those of us who have played Final Fantasy IV. So without further ado, just because I'm getting a slight later start, let's go ahead and get into this.
You go back to Charlotte.
Alright, the teleport.
And hello, Mama Strife.
Yeah.
Sev, you are joining us for the dungeon, yes? Okay.
Barding.
Not gonna revert up for some extra experience? You're not 81? I thought you said you were almost 84.
No, it was. I'm almost 84 on my hard. His Reaper's only 73.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
I love the music here.
It is nice now that I can actually listen to it.
So, unlike last time, I didn't even pick up the quest, so I gotta pick that up first, but let's see where it goes.
E.
In the dark of the tower. Since there has been progress in both investigations, shall we share the findings from our respective locales? Yes, let me tell you about how your friend just got put inside a pillar in the tower, Cryo.
Also, ether sickness sucks.
Touche.
Your time in Safnir has certainly been eventful.
Well, that's an understatement.
Understatement of the year.
Carrying out Vitra's request and assaulting the Tower of Zot should be our highest priority.
I agree. While I still have questions concerning the Forum and their grand undertaking, we have all but exhausted our avenues of investigation. Simply pressing them any harder on the subject will almost certainly result in our expulsion. Therefore, I suggest we explore the ethereal sea connection by way of a letter to Master Matoya, then make our way to Thavnair.
I wonder, even with the protection these talismans afford us, what can we hope to achieve once inside the tower? According to Orenvold and Fodola's report, they were unable to free the Emolja. Worse, their attempts triggered the tower's defenses, which led to a summoning of Luna Afrit.
What does it tell us that the Spires even have such defenses? Simply pulling a prisoner from the wall is fatal, thus the direct approach is doomed to failure from the outset. Any further measures to dissuade such actions seem unnecessary. Unless, of course, there is a way to free the prisoners without killing them. then it stands to reason that any intruders will be met with overwhelming force.
The towers appeared throughout the world in but the twinkling of an eye. 'Twas by magical means these structures were raised, I surmise.
No, you
The
don't
spire
say.
thus conjured must needs be maintained, and I suspect an arcane catalyst, some manner of core, doth lie hidden within. Destroy the core, and the tower ceaseth to be, thus liberating the captives without harm.
Are we gonna get the core battle from from the Giant of Babel?
Oh
We
God.
can hope. And I would prefer to enter
I'd
the
love to go
tower
into
with
the
a
Giant of
working
Babel
theory
though,
than
with
no
the
plan at all.
redone version of FF4's version.
Hmm.
Assuming Ishtola's reasoning is correct, the chances of the defenses remaining dormant are small to none. Any primals will have to be dealt with, and defeating one will likely only lead to the summoning of another. Our every victory will only compound the prisoner's suffering.
May we not then divide our forces? Those proficient in healing will focus on sustaining the captives. That duty can be covered by Urianger, Kryl, Yostela, and myself. The remaining scions will proceed with the search for the core. Admittedly, this strategy puts both parties at greater risk, but it should bolster our chances of saving the Arcosodra by a considerable margin.
Are you sure Alphino is in the right group, or what of Alizé? She knows a healing speller too.
I like my third option. Aren't you forgetting someone?
Yeah, you're the warrior of light. Technically, you're not a healer by trade. You go and wreck shit. God, which answer do we choose? Which answer do we choose?
I'm the most talented healer. Thank you, Graha.
What about Alizé? She knows a healing speller too.
That she does. But I think Alizé herself would assert that she's at her best when she's charging onto the breach. And from what I recall from the Grand Cosmos, there's a spring in her step when she finds...
Yes! Yes! The callback! The callback!
Love the callbacks.
Ye gods, will you never let me hear the end of that? Rest assured that I will do what is asked of me, regardless of who I happen to be standing next to at any given time. It seems we have a plan. All that remains is to carry it out. I will inform Radzit Khan of our movements, so let us make our preparations and regroup near the tower.
The military post in what's left of the Hamsa hatchery should serve as a convenient staging point.
That sounds perfect. And remember, the experimental aetherite at the confluence is there for those who need it, so there's no excuse for being late.
Except for aether sickness. That's fucking Alizé. What are you talking? You're never gonna let me hear the end of that, are you? Oh, I love it. I love it. I freaking love it.
Good.
Okay, so we gotta go to the... Oh man, it's so good. I love it.
Great.
I love the fact that the game is starting off on a high note in the sense of, you know, it's giving you plenty to laugh about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh look, there's a Sev.
Oh.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, gotta love the fact that Seb can fly here already.
Yep.
It is quite helpful.
Go.
I'm not bummed. They go.
And down. Nose dive!
Nope. Gosh.
Lay down, beast.
A friend of yours here. We've been expecting you. You and yours will lead the mission to the tower, I'm told. The warding scales will be delivered soon. Until then, please stand by at the boat we have readied. When your fellows arrive, I will direct them to join you. We pray for your safety and success.
Well, let's leave Lilith alone. I swear, the chocobos are so aggressive.
Seriously. Give me my talismans and let me go. The classic music right there. If this is the future of aetheryte travel, I think I'll stick to boats. No warning, however empathetic, could have prepared me for that. Well, on account of which we are a little late, but fighting fit, mostly. We get it.
Been there, done that.
My friends, permit me to thank you for accepting this mission. You must be, we should still call you Varshan, I suppose? Indeed, it would not do to confuse our soldiers. Very well then. For our part, we are humbled that you should see fit to entrust us with your warning scales. Please convey as much to His Excellency. One for each of you. Please accept them with my blessings. Thanks. With these, we can go anywhere those with the blessing of light can go. Not only for this operation either, but all the ones to come. We can finally break your monopoly on primals. I've been waiting
for this day.
I wouldn't mind carrying
what I
on this
said.
before, you know. In that case, they're all yours from now on. Oh, God.
Oh, so many good options.
Oh, man. Which one do we go with, though?
I went with the last one.
I went with the first one.
You know, I'm going to say the last one just to see a difference. In that case, they're all yours from now on. But I'm afraid we can't let you retire just yet. You're the Scion's brightest star, after all. If everyone is amenable to it, let us review the strategy for good measure. As previously agreed, we'll divide into two groups. Strife and his band will break... well, Strife, Sev, Eren, and Rayn and his band will break through the tower's defenses and locate its core. Meanwhile, the rest of us will tend to the prisoners, who will doubtless want for healing due to the duress of repeated summonings. The primals which the tower bringeth forth shall be the deities of Thavnarian myth. As we have no prior experience with such foes, pray exercise the utmost caution when confronting them. We commence the operation at your word, my friend. For the people of Thavnir, nay, the entire world, we must prevail.
Here we go.
Well, to be fair, I don't know what Final Fantasy XIV has done to them, but it is not my first encounter with the Magus Sisters.
Hmm.
Alright.
Had quite a few encounters with the Magus sisters.
Alright, so just curious, out of the trust system, our choosings are Dankred, Alphino, Alizé, and Estinian.
The rest.
Hmm?
The rest, like I said, they'd break off.
Yeah.
Pair.
Alright.
I think the other four still.
Alright. Vitra, Great Worm of the First Brood and the hidden satrap of Rabzat Han, has bid the Scions cross to Naronair and mount a foray into the tiny island's unnatural spire, a telephore structure known by the locals as the Tower of Zot. Your companions join you on the journey, protective talismans in hand, prepared to face whatever unarmed horrors await you within. Come what may, you cannot allow Nidana and her kin to perish in the grip of dark magics and darker designs. Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Whoops. Or yups.
Yep.
Alright, here we go. Insta-Q!
Oh, they do come with them.
Hell yeah.
So we get 4 of them fighting. Raha, I love you.
Here we go. I enjoy the callback music.
I love how they literally still look.
You are cutting in and out, so. Oh boy, God, do I remember this guy.
Yeah, hopefully that's better.
Well, so far.
Okay, so what did you say?
I said it's really cool that they're literally attacking with us and we have 8 people attacking.
Yeah. That is pretty cool.
Bye-bye. Since a great surge of ethos as the summoning hath begun. Whoa.
That's where we break off.
Bye guys, have fun!
Yeah, it's just down there running. Later.
Hey guys, what's up?
miss getting the EXP off trash.
Yeah. I guess let's hope that the EXP garnered here is worth it.
Strife, save me.
I got it.
Oh, wrong one.
Yeah. Gonna say, Eren, where are my heals?
I
Here,
actually
look at
hit
it.
my AoE button.
I really do love that I have a shotgun.
God, that's guy's mentality with just about every Resident Evil game. Like, the game's scary up until you get a boomstick.
And yet you still hold it with one hand.
It's a sawed-off. It still counts as a shotgun. Another one of you?
No, I can't pet you.
Alright. So if I die, I have to blame Eren and not Malcolm.
No, we blame Malcolm.
Healers adjust!
I can't adjust, you're a cat!
Cat aggro.
I'll admit, cat aggro is kind of rough.
Ah, it's nice to know these guys can be stunned. Gotta love shield bash. Alright, first one. What do we got? Oh, Mindy.
Mindy.
Okay. Interesting.
So
Interesting.
So
Improva.
not fighting them at the same time. Okay.
Let's
Alright,
see what
let's
this
go,
feels.
Mindy, and let's see what the boss battle music is.
Yeah, by the way, the mechanics are way different than what we're used to.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh shit.
Yeah, it gets crazy.
Oh, I'm still getting there.
Whew.
Yeah, it's usually good to kind of stay near.
This is different.
Somebody might want to go get that ore at that stack marker.
I don't think we stack on that. I didn't see anyone stack on. Yeah, it's just to tell you where the next blizzard's gonna hit. I was very
That's
confused
interesting.
when I first saw it. Right? I was so confused when I first saw it too. I'm like, what the hell is
That
that?
makes sense.
Dance until death claims you.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what's going on.
Well, that hurt.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hers is really crazy.
Could you stop giving me frostbite?
I have lightning. Okay, continue.
Okay, so there's gonna be thunder coming from there, bio coming from there.
Ooh.
Oh no, blizzard.
Yeah, blizzard and then.
Oh.
As I said, sometimes it's good to stay near.
That was insanity.
That was a little intense.
Ow! Under me again.
Okay, there's fire coming from there.
And
Just gonna run over there to the fire.
yeah, I'm not making that one.
Oh no!
Oh.
And then
Just die, damn you!
you're dead.
Right on the verge of a Mario scream there, dude.
371,000 for that.
Congrats.
Hey.
Congrats on your level up, Aaron. Mansuya, Ring of
Level
Casting,
3 and Holy 3.
and Boots of Aiming.
I'm gonna give that to Sandra. She's probably gonna need it.
I actually don't.
Oh, neither do I.
We'll just greed. I got it anyway. I rolled a 92, I think.
Because I had already passed on it. Because I didn't need it.
Yeah, I still have augmented Crypt Keeper
The Crypt
on
Lurker.
everything.
Right.
Crypt Lurker on everything except for the Bismuth Blunderbust. Fucking however you pronounce that.
Holy 3.
Oh, was that Holy 3 you just cast?
Yes. I like it.
Interesting. Shotgun.
Wow, these Imperials look all sorts of fucked up.
That's because they are.
These Imperials have seen better days.
Have they?
Well, I mean, the last set of Imperials we had didn't have, like, these tentacle things coming out of them.
Interesting.
I have a friend.
Friend.
Yeah, I did have a friend in Strife.
Oh, I'm sorry he took your friend.
I murdered your friend.
It's okay, because I was murdering him too.
Killing him with kindness, Sev. Killing him with kindness.
Oh, look at that thing.
You don't recognize it?
It's that guy.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Oh no, I definitely recognize him.
So, note to self, don't expect this to be pure FF4 nostalgia. There's gonna be some FF6 nostalgia as well!
Which...
It's a win.
I'm perfectly okay with this. I mean, we already had the Sky Armors, so...
Eren? Eren!
I was trying. It didn't like anything I did. Push the button.
I'm not even gonna ask why I'm tanking. I know exactly why I'm tanking.
Because the tank decided he wanted a nap.
Okay, so I mean, I'd used all of my Aquatic Solaces, and Benediction was already down. So that was just like almost a lose-lose for me, because by the time I tried to cast anything else, he took a nap.
He just said, fuck this, I'm done.
Yeah.
I got the first death of the dungeon. No matter how assisted it was.
I mean, I literally expected it to be me. Because it tends to go that way, but no, not this time.
Alright, so Clemency is back on the main hotbar.
That's where my clemency is.
Hey, I've lived this dungeon off of regen so far, along with Solace.
I'm gonna say when you start saying Eren Strife, just start casting clemency.
That's gonna have to be a thing. Eren. Oh shit! I'm out of mana. Stop being amazed with Holy 3 and heal me, damn it!
That's what white mage do. They glare.
She's not even glaring at that point. Just spamming Holy.
I mean,
The worst kind of white mage.
Didn't you also technically get Glare 3?
Yeah.
Isn't glare 3? Is it still single target or is it AoE?
Glare 3?
Yeah.
Would probably be single target.
Yeah, single target, 310 unexpected damage.
Okay.
And Holy 3 is 150.
Sandy. Oh, they're saving Cindy for last?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's go, Sandy. What do you got?
Oh, this should be interesting.
Oh, I'm SOL. I got hit. Did stuff and things.
You're enraged.
Ah, okay.
Okay,
So
I see how this
angry.
works. Oh, not good. Ow.
Oh,
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
You're
rude.
stopped.
Yeah, that is a pretty rude mechanic right there.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, confuse?
Don't quite remember how this one went. Ah, right.
Pick one.
Yeah! Damn it!
But we're all enraged.
Oh.
I was so close!
Thank you, Clemency.
Just make sure you're not stacked on top of each other in your field.
Seems like the one standing still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still got hit. Dumb healer.
Whoa, that was a spicy hit.
Oh, even
Stopping again, so spread out.
In my rotation.
Sandy, calm your tits, please.
Calm. Ooh, ninja stuff.
Go ninja, go ninja, go.
Look.
More FF6. I mean, it's still... Hey guys. How you doing? Just hanging around? Doing nothing? Chilling? Killing? Like a fiend?
Oh, I got one of those too. Down the hallway.
Ooh. Not complaining. Wah!
Go first. Like I pissed it off.
She looked at me funny.
Huh, so that's how it feels to come back, have that come back at Jay.
Right?
You got a pair of gunships.
Oh boy. Alright. Here we go.
Ow.
I'm actually going to piss him off.
That's my face. I stopped in time. They just decided, nah, we're going to go get her.
Apparently you looked at him funny.
We'll take a shotgun.
Sandra, how many times do we have to tell you that you should always look at everybody the same way they look at you?
So I should look at people funny?
Well, I mean, if you want to go that route, I mean... We got a choker. And we got Eren's favorite. We got a summoner weapon. It's a book. $10 says she looked at it before she passed on it.
I actually did not. I keep thinking you're seeing a shadow go across the window, but
could be cars passing by.
that's my guess.
Unless you brought home some sort of spirit. And then we have to cleanse the room.
I hope it's a friendly one.
I'll be able if it is. Nothing weird's happening.
No, apparently they just watching.
I'm totally sitting in my chair. I'm not like hovering or levitating above the computer right now.
Staring at you. Staring. Stare.
Well, it couldn't be anything bad because Malcolm's just sleeping.
It's
like
a
Malcolm
friendly
would be-
ghost.
Malcolm would probably be. I can see that. But there you target now.
Jeez, why are you guys so angry?
And didn't have their coffee?
They can't drink coffee, probably.
That's probably why they're angry. Curse this metal body, I can't drink coffee. Coffee.
Hi, Cindy. No matter the cost, we must protect the tower.
I hate this thing. I hate it so much.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, do the thing!
Yeah, just keep attacking. She's the healer. But you have to watch out for the others. As they bring in their attack.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Like I said, I hate this fight.
There was a lot going on.
I hate this fight.
Well, I mean, it's what I would expect out of
The Maga Sisters, yeah.
It's completely appropriate.
It is.
My god, is it chaotic.
My face.
What you...
Oh lord. Ow. Ah! Oh!
I got really lucky in some spots.
That is just chaotic.
Oh my god. Ah! Why? I'm gonna wait a sec.
You're like, I'm not playing DDR.
I'm not playing DDR with like no health.
Ooh! Yep, in the original FF4, the traditional order of doing stuff was you take out Cindy first, then you take out Sandy, and then you save Mindy for last.
Yep.
Yep.
It is the same. I hate this part.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Oh, come on.
Alright.
Sorry.
She's down. Get Sandy.
Alright, Retainer, don't tell me that you've completed the venture in the middle of a fight. Sandy down.
You can take a fire and shove it up your butt! And bye-bye!
Yay!
Oh, I hate that fight.
I hear Rain screams of pain because you're neglecting Granny. She needs love too. Hi, Cindric!
Hello, Cynthia.
Hey, look, there's another Grimoire. And the Tower of Zob Orchestrion roll.
Oh my god.
Needing
Pretty
a
decent
reading
XP
of
gain, actually.
Orchestrion roll.
I'm probably gonna need on it. Because it's music. I like the music.
It's music. I'm going for the music.
And I think I already got the Grimoire.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
so I can't
rolled
roll on it.
22.
Come on. Ah, yes.
Oh, that's
Got it.
painful.
Yay.
Oh, fucking god, he rolls a 99 on the Grimoire. You really wanted that Grimoire, didn't you?
Apparently.
Alright. So that was awesome.
That was great.
That was fun. I actually totally forgot about what is it, temperance? That would have been great to remember.
Yeah. Would really come in handy. God, I hate that last fight.
Is everyone all right?
Enjoy the cutscenes.
We fortified the captives with what magics we could. Have the defenses been disabled? All appears quiet for the moment.
Lower floors were disturbing enough, but this place feels wrong. The ether is heavy and thick, like wading through a quagmire.
I believe we stand in the tower's beating heart. What sayest thou, Stolen?
I see it. Ether siphoned from the land runs up through the spire, flowing to a single point. This is the core we seek. Yet something is off. As large as this structure is, it siphons far more ether than is required to sustain it. 'Tis as if the core is feeding on the energy, consuming it. I need to take a closer look. Curious. There is something there embedded inside the core.
Ooh.
A man's limb.
This is what we came to destroy?
Yes, if you would be so kind.
Well, talk about making short work of that.
And that should be the end of it.
Except for the fact that we don't know if the tower's gonna stay standing.
What now?
My theory that the tower might come crashing down following the core's destruction doth appear to be correct.
Bully for you! And how are we supposed to survive the fall?
Bully for you!
What of the prisoners below?
The floor beneath our very feet dissolves. Brace yourselves!
I pray I'm not too late.
Face down with a mouthful of dirt. Great way to spend my Saturday.
What happened? Where are we?
I think somebody drugged you. Somebody put something in your drink, Alizé.
By my reckoning, we're still on the island where the tower stood. But 'tis as if it never existed. Hardly a scratch. But how?
Raha wove a levitation spell at the last moment. Large enough to catch everyone, it would seem.
That's... yeah. I mean, yeah, look at that!
That explains the lack of obvious injuries.
And why he's still face down sawing logs right now.
The expenditure of so much ether has taken its toll. He will need plenty of rest, but should otherwise be none the worse for wear.
Then the immediate problem is what to do with our new friends here. They'll be much changed for their time in the tower. Even if their bodies are intact, I doubt we could say the same for their minds.
Angelo and I will take care of that.
I have every faith in you, Alizé, but there are just too many for you to treat alone.
We'll send at once to Eorzea for more Porksies, and call on the local mages to lend a hand.
Hail, Scions! We were watching the tower when it simply disappeared. What happened here?
The threat is banished, and thy people delivered.
Poor elephants all cream themselves to death.
And we of a secure locale and helping hands to assist us in its provision.
You shall have all this and more. Come, let us convey these unfortunate souls to the city.
Hey, Nedanya. Oh, it was a slightly bittersweet moment. Alright, the liberated prisoners are being transported to Radzat Han for treatments. Alizé and Yustola will oversee the administration of the tempering treatment with support from those who know a healing spell or two. We'll go and join them in the city once you've had a moment to catch your breath.
I feel like I'm in a different instance.
You may now enter the towers out with NPC avatars. I ended up in 1.
I'm in 2.
Why? We were in a party together. How the hell did we end up at a different instance?
I'm in 3.
And Sev's where Sev is. I don't even think he's in Thavner anymore, so. Alright, well, Tankard is rested and ready to set out. Had enough rest, have you? You never were one for being idle. Right. Arshan bade us come to the Megaduda at our earliest convenience. The others will join us there once they have finished tending to the prisoners. Wait, on second thought, you and Estinian should go on ahead. I need to make a quick detour by the Great Work. We left Graha in the alchemist's care, you see. Best to fetch him before he's crammed into a specimen jar. Just you and me, then. The guardsman at the gate should wave us through. Yes, go get Graha.
I'm gonna pop to the Great Work and see if I can get into the same instance. That's dumb. We're in the party. Why would it put us in a different instance? And not only in it, all of us in a different instance.
Yeah. Because I ended up in... Because seriously, I ended up in 1, Eren ended up in 3, and you ended up in 2.
I have a blue dot on my map.
That's me.
That would be Sev.
Do I want to go to the Great Work or no?
You're following with me.
Well, he can give you a ride to where you need to go.
Do we all just head to where Sev is?
Well, do you have Sev on your map?
Yes.
Well, Rayn.
Hi, Sev.
Hi.
3.
They're so close.
Where is it you guys need to go? Over here. Near the bridge?
Yeah, going towards the city.
The bridge.
And there's Strife.
That spot. Did your chocobo wipe its feet before you let it in the car?
I'm gonna take that silence as a no.
I guess so. Sorry, Seth, about your upholstery. Oh, I'm a good chunk of the way to 83.
I'm a good chunk of the way to 85.
That dungeon got me pretty close to 82.
Yeah.
Honored Scions, you are free to enter at your leisure. As I cannot leave my post, I'm afraid you must make your own way. Should you require directions in the city, the sentry stationed at the forum atop the stairs should be glad to assist you. Are we going to be able to attune to the Aetheryte here finally and wander around?
I hope so.
Looks like it. Though I've been to Razat-Han before, this place is a veritable maze. Rather than risk getting lost, we had best ask for directions from the sentry at the fountain. Lead the way and don't
Okay.
expect me to act as your tour guide like certain others. Stinny is now accompanying you.
I'm going exploring.
Aetheryte hunting?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing you guys are in 1?
2.
Yeah, 2.
Master Strife, I presume I understand you're here for an audience with the satrap. If you require directions to make a duty, I shall be glad to provide them. Satraps are situated in the Dharma, the highest point of Radzat Han. To get there, I would ordinarily recommend a route that takes you by the bazaars in the city's north. Due to the state of alert, however, most businesses are currently closed and the Aetheryte disabled. As such, I will provide you with an alternate path. First, please ascend the steps next to this fountain, then continue left. There will be more steps, and upon ascending them, you will emerge at Paxa's path. Proceed through the large door on the right, and you will arrive at the Ruveda Fibers. Within, you will find another sentry who can give you further guidance. In other words, we heads up. Sounds straightforward enough. Yes, I know about this portal. It leads to a nearby isle, the treasure vault of one of Radzat Han's wealthiest families. They took the god of luck for their guardian, on account of which they occasionally open up a section of their vaults for aspiring treasure hunters to try their own luck, or so they say. There are also coffers hidden across the land that act as portals. Find one and you gain access to the vault. Something to bear in mind in case you exhaust your funds while on the road. 'Tis a troublesome experience, as I can personally attest. Ah, so you've done maps, Justinian. He basically just brought up maps, so
That's freaking cool.
according to the message, the base thread has been temporarily disabled. Ah, why? Why must you do this?
I mean, at least with Yulmore it made sense.
Do the story. That's all I gotta say. If you do the story...
We did do the story!
No, continue doing it.
Alright, so that's a dead end. I suppose we should go there to see if there's any points of interest that Istinian may want to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah, if you follow the directions and everything, it leads you around to, and it'll show you like the Aetheryte shards and stuff on your way there. And mostly the points of interest are in the direction they give you.
Well, this is the first time we've really gotten to explore this place, so I definitely kind of want to take a little bit of a look around. I don't want to spend too much time since we're operating on limited time, so, but... And I heard an Eren. Who else can impact the ground with such force?
Hey, did you just call my aura fat?
No, no.
So you called a Stinian fat?
No, no. Remind me again why you're operating on limited time. Because we're doing this on a day that Eren has to work, so Eren's got to be to work in like 3.5 hours, and because of
Also, snow and ice.
Yeah, and because we have snow and ice, I want to leave earlier, so hopefully I have time to get her to work safely.
There's like 100 accidents in our city, like a day and a half ago, just because apparently nobody knows how to drive with snow.
Yeah, apparently we had 100+ accidents across Spokane on what's today? Saturday, so Thursday, I think.
The drivers in the city are still
I mean, downtown alone, apparently there was a 7-car pileup.
People are stupid. That's all I gotta say, especially in this town.
So I just want to make sure I've got time to get her to work safely. Especially since, unfortunately, with all the ways that I can travel, there's no way to avoid going up and down a very steep hill. So I am not looking forward to that.
I just walked by someone named Houseplant.
Interesting.
Apparently this person's on my friends list, and I have no clue who they are.
Don't you love those?
I friended you. Why? When?
It is, yeah, it's a name and an FC I don't recognize. Like, I still have H2K members on my list, but it's not them. I have a lot of people on my friends list. Who are you? Who are all these people?
Oh, God, and I thought I was bad.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm kind of the same way. Like, I go on my friends list and I'm like, who's this person again?
Who was this
Where did I meet them?
I know this person is not who I think they are. For somebody else on my friends list. I think I need to delete people.
You think?
I have 127 friends, and I don't know most of them.
Only 127?
I have 70.
I've got 126.
I don't know how many I have.
I made friends with Tater Tots and like someone named Tater Tot and somebody else was named Tater something.
I have 130.
Centric's like, look at Miss Popular here.
Am I really popular if I don't know them and they probably don't know me because they didn't even wave?
I have 130 friends, and a good majority are actually online.
I mean, you're assuming a lot that, one, they were actually active, they were actually there. You know, for all you know, they could have been standing there and they just walked away to go to the bathroom.
Oh, and unable to retrieve.
I have a bunch of those from other data center, but I'll be back one day.
So now I have 129.
Hell, I don't even know how to find out how many friends I have. I know that some popular streamer named Tater Tot, but there's no telling if the one on your friends list is that one.
The one on my friends list, her and her husband are from the UK.
Is her name spelled Taydertot?
I don't think so.
Tater Tot?
The Tots. The question is Tater a Lalafell?
Most likely. That just
more than likely.
That just seems to be the trend. If you're named after any food, you are typically a Lalafell.
Actually, I find a lot of Mikote, actually.
Oh. So there's Wind Up Tater.
Wind Up Tater, huh?
Tater
I feel
Tot.
like I'm being chased by a Sev.
Probably because you are. I mean, it's Sev. I think I got all the Aetherites.
I don't think I have the other Tots anymore.
Oh, you got the Tater, but you don't have the Tots. How dare you?
I am being chased by a Sev.
I mean, they're named after potatoes, so definitely Lalafell. I think I just finally figured out you're talking about your friends list in Final Fantasy XIV. Yes, Mama Strife.
I really wish there was a button to just visualize and click in real life that would show me how many friends I have, but it would probably say I have 3.
And she lives with them. Thought she was talking about Discord.
Oh. I don't think I have too many friends on Discord either. I got less friends in Discord for sure, but I have more friends on Discord than I do in real life. Where'd you guys go?
Aetheryte hunting.
I think Strife's coming up on where I am.
Oh, I can't go there.
Yeah, they actually made it to, like, if you just continue doing the story, they actually take you to each of these areas, and you can get each of the Aetherites that way.
It's a force of habit. You enter a new place with Aetherites, you go after the Aetherites immediately. It's a force of habit. It's been ingrained.
Stubborn.
It's been ingrained into our body for 4 expansions, okay?
I don't know how to get to
I mean, it's true.
I guess I was able to break that habit because I just did the story, and it led me to every single one.
Well, no, see, you never really had to have it, Seb, because you're a story whore that will do everything on easy if you have to, so you can get as much story as possible, so...
No, I didn't. I did this entire thing without going on easy.
I'm saying, you would do it on easy if it guaranteed you could get to the story faster.
No, not on online thing. Because that's just a new recent thing they started doing in Shadowbringers.
It's true.
So ever since then, I basically just don't. Like, I usually pass it on the first go. But then again, I'm also a paladin, so tanks are able to get through those trials a whole lot easier. It takes a bit longer because you're not doing as much damage, but...
Oh, okay, I see. Come on. There we go. Just that little nudge.
I was gonna say, you're doing it a bit harder than the way I did it. I ran up, jumped on the banister, jumped down, and landed on the box right behind you.
Run with me, you will see another Aetherite you can do too.
Where you're going is where you need to go anyways.
Well, then I'll get there a little bit behind everyone.
Because you have to run all the way back to get to the story.
No, I don't.
Well, you just take an Aetherite to it.
Exactly. Respect the power of the Aetherite. The Mega Duda. That's a lie. I have not attuned myself to every Aetherite.
I mean, I agree that it's not entirely the truth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that doesn't take you where you need to go. You're better off going right to the plaza area where you were, and then going up the stairs.
Yeah, even worse, Stybian doesn't ride the Aethernet, so I actually have to go all the way back to the start to get him again.
Yeah.
Oh no!
And that's where you're going.
Oh no! I didn't realize that!
Yeah.
Darn it! And I have to go back for him?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All the way back at the,
Stairs.
And now all of a sudden the power of being on foot is manifest.
Do you want to attempt to use the...
I made the right call by just walking around. This place is a bloody maze, man.
I mean, it did warn us that.
They did. I kind of like it. Whoa, Jesus. Someone's just walking around with a giant box.
Okay, so wait, where's this Indian? All the way back here? Oh, at the bottom of the steps?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, bottom of the steps. Literally, I just followed the story and it led me everywhere really quick.
Hey, that's my line.
Yeah, we get it, Seb. You've completed the story already.
No, I mean just following this. Went through it faster just doing it. Where are you? I'm so confused on how you got there, Strife.
And how he got where?
Where he was at to get where he was.
I didn't make it, did I, are you? In that case, please follow this hallway to my right and go through the door at the top of the stairs. You'll emerge at the entrance to the airship landing, where another sentry should be on hand to assist you. Incidentally, if you ascend the stairs to the steps to either side of me, you'll find the workshops of Ruveda fibers. Though you're free to observe the artisans, take care not to lose your way.
That's at the workshop.
Wait, do I have to go down the floor?
Where are you at?
Up?
It's pretty simple.
Did I go to the complete wrong area?
Nice!
Kidding me!
You gotta follow what they say.
If you are here for an airship, I'm afraid all flights have been suspended until further notice. So the state of alert is still in effect. Perhaps it's for the best. That aside, we're not here for an airship. We have business at the Megaduda. Oh, in that case, permit me to direct you. From here, it's quite simple, really. Ascend these steps and continue straight ahead and across the bridge. You cannot miss it.
Are you sure about that? Directions are not my forte.
I just came down these stairs after going through. Where are you, Eren?
I just went a very, very long way.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, so, yeah. You talk to the guy, right? So go up here. Go up
I
here.
remember passing by here with Vashon. The situation being as it was, he regretted not being able to show us the sights.
Talk to the guy.
Life has yet to return to normal here, but when it does, you ought to pay another visit. Though the city is confusing, the food is quite good. I'm partial to the hamsa myself. The meat's surprisingly tender and flavorful. Squawk, squawk. I only see you guys on the FF14 grind. Yeah. Yeah, lately all I've been doing is trying to do FF14. Since Endwalker came out, I gave it some time, let everybody work through it, so I hopefully have no more Rob on Savage. And hi Chibbles, hi Azure. So we actually just finished up our first Endwalker dungeon.
What's up, Azure? What's up, Cheebs?
Hellos.
What's up, peoples?
Right now, it feels like this is 14 for the direction-only challenge.
I was gonna say, I'm enjoying watching you guys get lost.
I wasn't getting lost. I was following the map. Just because I didn't find the shortcuts like you doesn't mean I was lost.
I didn't have to find it. I just followed the directions they gave me.
Okay, but to be fair, right now I think we're all showing that whole, hey, let's not stop and ask for directions.
I didn't need to stop and ask for directions. I found where I needed to go based on collecting aetherites, so, eh. Greetings and welcome to the Megaduda. May I inquire after your business? We are members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, come at the invitation of His Excellency. Of course, we have been expecting you. I will show you into the audience chamber. If you will please follow me. Cutscene!
Yep, I can't follow you guys in there.
Ha!
I can only go partway.
Sev can't stalk us in here now. He can't go creepy Uncle Sev on us.
Oh god.
Actually, technically, I still can because you guys are still standing here.
You had to give him ideas.
I was misled when he said he couldn't follow us.
Fair.
Yeah.
If you loot us, Sev, if you loot us.
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we have not kept you waiting. I just love that volume change right there. Oh shit, I didn't realize.
Not at all. Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
When Dankard shows up, I swear to God, it sounded like he used two different level tones. He's like, lower voice, are we the last to arrive? And then, I hope we did not keep you waiting.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent in more ways than one.
I can fuck a camel from a mile away. It's that potent. Not what we wanted to know, Graha.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
What an atheist.
Science. For your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. You cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence. No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzatan.
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the High Crucible of Alchemia. Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
Okay.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzatan will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those
Malcolm,
scales
hold
came
on.
from you, didn't they?
Thank you.
You must still be in such pain.
'Tis of no moment. A mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
So I will say one of the things I think I kind of enjoy a little bit more with Endwalker in comparison to like Heaven's Ward. The dragons speak in English. But at the same time, I kind of miss the dragon tongue.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
I would hope we could speak dragon at this point.
Albeit brief. My involvement in the Dragon Song War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict it first bloomed, my choice had already been made.
Interesting, interesting.
In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Nor even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause.
You couldn't be tempted by Nidhogg.
I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telophoroi are content on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Smart, Y'shtola.
Nay. When war and strife drove my sire from
Don't seriously. I did nothing.
the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company.
I had nothing to do with that. Okay.
United upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydaelyn to whom you must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star.
I did nothing. Hashtag words of a guilty man. Hey, hey, hey.
'Tis a story
Hey.
of my youth, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsormr did reply,
Lies and slander.
last bastion of hope.
Yes, I agree with Chibbles. Lies and slander.
Believed, so long as Hydaelyn endured, so too might dragonkind.
Saying that, I did nothing wrong, hashtag words of a guilty man, is like saying, no, I don't like torturing myself, plays the game on the hardest difficulty, hashtag closet masochist.
Solemn.
Very nice, very nice.
Were his words. Deeper meaning they
Chibbles is laughing.
not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydralyn does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
Cynthia, when are you going to start working on MSQ? When he gets a class to 90 and he doesn't have to do the grind to get through story?
Well, I'm sure we all have a great many questions. I think it's time we collect the
Because I could have
talismans of the
I could have sworn I heard him say that he had a class at 86 and he hadn't even gotten out of the Shadowbringers patchwork MSQ.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
Not for me, because I'm working every class. I gotta put some effort into it.
Prithee, a moment.
Should have known.
There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Aeolus' champion. This hero of renown and rumor, 'tis thee.
I'm not sure. There's so many things I need to stream. The only way I could really do it anytime soon is if I stream it on the side on days I normally wouldn't stream. Yeah, I got the 90 just doing MSQ alone on the side quest I gave 8th occurrence. I mean, if you take one through, but it's also really easy to level other classes, which I guess I could. Rayn and I have crossed paths, yes.
I knew it to be so.
I actually just got Samurai to 90 yesterday just from doing daily roulettes. Chibi has Sage, Summoner, Scholar, and Bard in 90, and Warrior 89, plus Miner and Fisher at 90.
'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsormr's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread. For upon thy life's wheel wind too many.
Way to brag, so. Got my miner to 90 in an hour and 30 minutes. Leveling Miner and Fisher took like no time. Yeah. You're gathering to level 90 in an hour and 30 minutes, or this craft is free.
More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence.
It's easy when using labs. Aww, Ice Heart Limbrita. Papa Lebo! Ah, the Menphelias. Ah! How dare you!
Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou wilt need come the end. Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss. Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Are you coming, friend?
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion over long with idle chatter.
We do have a history of suddenly collapsing.
Go. At war's end,
The callbacks in this game
I
are
welcome thee back into my
It is.
home, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
Chibble's going for that fabulous ribbon. That's because Chibbles looks adorable, so Chibbles needs that ribbon. Adorable little cat boy needs a ribbon.
Ribbon?
So, what were you and Vitra talking about? Just, this, that, and the other. Nothing? Very well, if you say so. The others have gone ahead to the High Crucible. Let's catch up to them. The attendant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. First, let us return to the Mulberry Orchard. You have to have maxed out shared fate ranks in all areas to unlock the Razat Han gem store trader who has the Thavnarian ribbon.
I will eventually get there.
Yeah, the fates give a ton of experience.
They do give decent XP.
I thought you said Nintendo was kind enough to give me directions to the Crucible. From here, we're supposed to follow the path left past the mulberries. Whoever designed this place needs to be reaped. Come here, Seb. You're the closest person. Let me reap you.
No.
Give me your soul.
No.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. You gave that away already. Where the street turns, enter the door straight ahead, then descend the steps. I thought the Crystarium was confusing, but it doesn't compare to Razat Han. The architecture and decorations make it even harder to get your bearings. Anyway, let's see where the store takes us.
I thought the Crystarium was actually quite intuitive, but maybe that's just me.
Hey look, it's Silent Hills.
I noticed that. Oh, Jesus.
And here's the Aetheryte Plaza. So far so good, and there isn't much further to go. From here, we just need to cross to the other side of the hall, then pass through the larger two doorways. The High Crucible lies beyond. I suspect the others have already collected their warding spells. Come, let us join them. Hey, Seb, come back here. My Morble seedling wants to say hi.
No. No.
Come here, Seb.
No.
Come on, Seb. You know you want to say hi to the Morble.
No.
He's so tiny, he can't eat you.
I gotta find that photo and share it.
We're last, of course, but at least we found the place. You think Seb of all people would like tentacles?
I mean, again, you're not wrong, but it's the giant mouth and horrible breath that just throws me off.
I really want to be there when you do the first trial. That trial is fun. Poor Seb. LOL.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for. Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
So what I'm getting here is Vor is too much for Seb. Alas, if you get to it tonight, I might not be able to. I have to go. I'm not going to be able to, Chibbles, because I'm a stickler for grinding everything out, so we're not going to be streaming again until I can get all of my classes to 82, so that's going to take a little time.
Plus, I have to go to work.
Yeah.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper and strike directly at the Telophoral's base
So-
of operations.
Nobody wants to work.
So, I mean, at the very least, it gives time for things to settle down. So I promise I'm keeping an eye on the quest list so I can get an idea of how long the streams are going to be. So when I see the trial coming up, I promise you will get a notification, Chibbles. I will send you a message personally.
To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
Yes, bring on Yugiri!
Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
I'm grinding at a different pace.
I must speak with you.
Jesus. I want to get at least one class of each roll to 91st, so my next class is Dragoon, and I'm grinding over 1 or 2 at a time, so I think Astra for Regen, Healer after that, then Reaper. I'm just tormenting myself and doing them all so I can use them throughout the story, and Jesus, you ran. Nidana!
Nidana? You're awake?
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption. It seems I'd been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
That's all you, Alize.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough.
I just want Ace Ventura to pop out of nowhere and start making noises to get the elephant to crush a truck.
All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You
Alrighty then.
I can see it!
Yet who has truly saved whom? Due in no small part
One of the
to
things
thy
I've seen in
inspirational
Ace Attorney
powers,
games.
The alchemists were successful in reproducing warding
Suplex the train!
replications of thy work now.
If there's any cutscenes with that elephant people fighting someone, needs to take that and add the clip of Ace Ventura to it.
Against this rising
Ace Ventura. Fucking love that movie.
The talisman? Is this true? Oh, I was so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it.
Look at that! Its color is completely changed.
What do you have there? How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction
I love
to
that
Akasha.
flower. It's so pretty.
The Elpis.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is
I don't think they
distinct
know
from
that
ether.
name yet, Sev.
As foreign scholars often conflate the two,
Do they not?
but we see them as separate concepts. Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions. Akasha
What
can
was the
neither be
flower that they?
created
What was it called?
nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate. The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities.
It's called a limit break! I mean, Echo. I mean, yeah.
That
The jailer gives them that name, and that's no spoiler because it has no meaning.
mind, and
I
unyielding
swore it was the
spirit.
botanist that walked up to you guys after Crow
I really
gave it
must
to
hear
you.
more about this theory.
That said
Our
it.
disciplines are based
Honestly, I didn't
entirely
even
upon
hear
the
it,
idea
so.
that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research. Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Nonsense. You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
Yeah.
On the
I forgot
botanist
what they,
team.
Shall we depart
I
for
forgot what they
Charlene, then?
call the flower
I
right
will
now.
see to it that the talismans arrive at the annex.
I believe we're still just
We will
referring
be in
into it
touch
by the
once our
flower
talks are
that
concluded.
the botanist in
I suggest you rest while you
Labyrinthos
can.
explained it to
From
us.
here onward, sleep is bound to be in
It's like a
short
mood
supply.
flower or something like that. Because we know at this point we know it's a flower that can actually change its color based on like nearby energy, like if somebody's sad or if somebody's happy, that kind of behavior. I forget what the actual name was. I'd have to go back and look at the cutscene again.
Yeah. I can't remember it either.
Either way, I didn't actually hear what you said, Sab, so.
Well, I mean, there might be another way to actually easily look at this.
You're thinking the journal, huh?
Maybe.
Yeah, it would have been when you were dealing with Cryo.
Heartbloom.
Heartbloom. Okay.
Alright, speak with Cryo
Alright,
about
I remember
Destiny
that now,
Annex. Alright, so back to old Charlian.
Catch a free ride.
Free ride. Do 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 do. Yeah, copyright that.
Don't test them.
Yeah. Oh, did you actually hear the bullshit that they actually put out?
Huh?
Apparently, Twitch has added new words to the bannable offense or words that are considered derogatory. So apparently, damn is considered a derogatory word. Butthole or butthead is considered derogatory. And there was something about the Civil War was about the United States and this, that, and the other. Apparently, that's considered derogatory.
What? Saying Civil War?
I would have to look it up again, but I swear to God, they actually had like a full-on sentence, like somebody was stating their opinion was offensive and a banned term.
On top of Karen, have they added Kyle yet?
I don't know.
I'm
Or
curious
Ken.
if they've added Kyle.
Or Ken.
I mean, hey, if anybody wants to go and write "damn" in the chat or "butthole" and see whether or not it flags you, go ahead.
I got butthole.
I'm sure you do.
I mean, I said butthole.
Okay, so that worked through. Anybody want to type "damn"?
I got damn.
All right, yeah.
And damn.
Maybe capitalize the D. Yeah. Yeah. Alright.
Karen.
I think it might be because you have
Kyle?
this rated as adult.
Yeah, it could be that. Well, no, I get
maybe.
we get flagged. I get flags in here for things like people like Chibbles got flagged for saying, "Oh, I hate that this person," or I hate that you can't, glamour or whatever, expressing a feeling, and it flagged Chibbles for saying, "I hate you." Yeah, it wouldn't flag Rayn because he's the mod. It was so dumb.
Eh.
And I totally went to the Baldician Annex. I just apparently went to the wrong one. Had pets to Chibbles. Come on. It's good to be back and with the fruit of our labor safely in storage. For now, we have but to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As Thancred suggested, you should get some rest in the meantime. Rest? What is this rest that you speak of? Welcome back, Strife. Crowds have praised me of your recent accomplishments. What an amazing feat to eliminate a tower and pave the way to deal with the rest. While it isn't much, I've changed your sheets and plumped your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice clean bed after completing a major milestone, be it penning a thesis or defeating deformed deity entities. So, would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now? Sure. Have another conversation with Heidelin now that we're on our own? Oh, it's back to the original color.
Take heart and protect them well.
Something to question my ears. I thought I heard you say after completing a milestone. I mean, it's a little hard to say because they said Malm, M-A-L-M stone. So Malm and whoa, hi.
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you?
The fucking warrior of light. Do you ever see me eat?
Only the finest dining from the last stand.
I love this scene.
Same. One of my favorite scenes.
Chibble says she loves this scene.
This is a good scene. This is a good scene.
Just open the door and there's like 4 people with fucking food. Oh god! And you put Graha and the twins in the same room. Jesus! I kind of want that burger.
I thought the same thing.
That's actually a really good looking burger, and she takes out the pickles. The food's dripping.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well.
Oh my god.
But he
This is
refused
great.
with a rather grim-faced.
I love
No,
Graha.
thank you. I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his
Alice A trying to be a waifu.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
I like Cryo when she lets the hood down.
What? To affect his brooding.
That's gotta be one juicy ass burger.
Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
Ooh.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
Excuse me, where the fuck is my burger?
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Cryle, I hear you've recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
Where's my burger? Why am I drinking tea?
What? The warrior of light eating? What are you talking about?
There's my burger!
Yes, but no lasting harm done.
Why aren't you eating the burger?
Because you don't really eat.
If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer.
We eat before dungeons
Felt
and
a
stuff like
hint of
that.
her presence since. Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes?
No.
Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radsat Han?
flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt, the relief of a people with renewed hope.
Indeed, and in turn I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Tloforoi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day.
Graha, did you remember to wipe the juices from your hand before you put your hand to your chest like that? You're gonna stain your tunic, dude. They have pizza too!
Yep.
Hey!
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle.
See? Just got flagged for using the word fucks. Even though this is an adult. Graha gives no
You
fucks.
unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume.
Well, yeah, that is one of the most
And
derogatory
from a
terms.
veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas
Feh.
necessary
Feh.
to facilitate my solitary exploration.
Faku.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion.
I'm gonna have so many food screenshots now.
You're letting all this food go to waste. Eat the fucking food, damn it! You got muffins and sandwiches and pizzas. Why are you drinking tea?
The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Oh.
And donuts. No, just once I wanted to see our character actually eat some food like a normal person. Are we pushing on until dawn? Shall we call it a night? Or you do know these are my quarters. What did you say, Rayn? Or have you even gotten to that part yet?
Oh, I said the first one.
Are we pushing until dawn? Did you enjoy the answer?
It was funny. It was decently funny, yeah.
Eren, what did you say?
I was gonna go with the last one.
Alright. Then for the sake of entertainment, I shall do the three as well. You do know these are my quarters, because Tibble said they did the first one.
Why else did you think we were here? Surrender to thy fate, O champion.
I'm getting too old for this.
This is good shit.
What's the flowers radiating green now? Surrender to thy fate, champion. Uh-oh. Badass alert.
Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that.
Ooh, Eren!
I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled, and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon the ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
I will piss in your Cheerios, Van Daniel. Jeez, Chibi.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No. All else is equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke.
Alrighty then.
But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame.
I'm sorry, but like just the way he did that line. I'm glad there's like a bar of dialogue there because I'm really thinking that Xenos has got a rage boner.
I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more, and then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain.
I mean, you just showed off yours, Chibi, with you will piss in Van Daniel's Cheerios. Like, I don't even think he had spoken at that point, and you were just like, I will piss in your Cheerios!
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'd piss in his Cheerios too.
Oh god, no. What was it?
I was gonna say, because it's Van Daniel.
I will have my contest.
What was it? What was it? We just... Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Yeah. Yeah. Synthetic, I think we finally got an answer for you. Maybe it's not God, maybe it was Chibi. Because if Chibi's willing to piss in Van Daniel's Cheerios, then when you said that God shits in your Cheerios once again when you were streaming, maybe you were thinking about Chibbles. We have an answer!
However strange that answer is.
The emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more.
Oh look, there's an Arkwright running around.
Oh god, another one?
Another one.
Pity you.
An unfamiliar one too.
Yeah.
You question my disinterest, but
There's so many Arkwrights.
Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take
Yeah.
little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my
They're using a
lord.
lot of words I've never
Such
heard before.
pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence.
And I like it.
Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth, much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
I hadn't seen many Arkwright until at least, and now they're everywhere, and I have to play. Is it Elise or someone else? On the Wings of Hope. God, the loading here sucks.
The next quest is 82.
Yep.
Next one's 82. Ah, it is.
Now I think my only question, which I will verify real quick, just to appease my own curiosity, and then we'll probably wrap up stream. And then I think I may have to go shovel up my driveway. Is now that the 81 questline is done, did any new side quests pop up? I just want to be sure. So nothing in Old Charlian or Labyrinthos. Just so this way I know if it's going to be a pure grind, or can I use some side quests to help out with that?
I suspect it's going to be a pure grind.
Yeah, pure grind. So dailies and a lot of dungeon farming.
I mean, at least the new one seems to be pretty good.
Yep.
Part of that was because the first time clear gave us over 1 million XP.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fair. But there's going to be plenty of other people who are going to be new to the dungeon as running through it.
That is true.
Yeah, there is that, but I don't know if I want to deal with other people when I can just run the trust system and insta-queue.
I mean, you get pretty decent EXP from the trust system, it seems.
So, alright. So with that being said, we are done with the 81 questline. We're done with 2, so we just got the 82 through 90, so it was short, it was sweet, it was simple. Let me see. I will try and end this on one last little note here. Let me see if I can actually find out. Let's see if I can just Xandor's good EXP. Yeah, there is that. I just typically they don't offer up much after a certain point. Alright. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 story quests for the 82 quest line. So, alright. So now I just get the joy of trying to level up all these bad boys to freaking 82, which, it won't be that bad other than the fact that I have no blue EXP. So this is going to be the definition of a pure grind, but it'll get done. Hopefully, honestly, if I have my way, I'm probably going to go a little hardcore on this one, because I would like to potentially do a stream on Christmas, just due to the fact that there are some situations about, and Rayn could use some company on Christmas, so I figured maybe if I could probably do a stream on Christmas, that would kind of give him some adequate company, I hope. But I'm not gonna get much further into it than that. But If I could manage this by Christmas time, I would like to try, but I don't think that'll happen, honestly. So, hopefully you'll see us back by Sunday or the following Tuesday, but, yeah, we'll see. Alright. So, anyway, thank you guys for sticking around, hanging out. Appreciate all the commentary and the banter and everything. Much love and appreciation to all of you. So, anyway, say goodbye, Eren.
Bye.
Say goodbye, Rayn.
Later, yo.
Alright, and of course, you guys know how it goes, especially with all the stuff that we got to do today. If you're gaming right now, and I know you probably are, remember to game hard or go home. And if you're already at home, just make sure to clean up when you're done. Seriously. Because if not, I'm going to send the Maga Sisters to your house. The old school Maga Sisters. And I'm going to let them give you tood. I don't know what that will entail, but that's what they're going to do. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye!